Alright, welcome. This is Devin from Deadly Art Gaming. For those coming for the first time, welcome. For those coming back, welcome back. Today we are going to be going over the fourth installment of my class overviews for the classes of Lost Epoch. So the other ones I do have already done for the Mage, the Acolyte, and the Sentinel. And this one will be over the Primalist. So essentially, this is going to be the shapeshifter, pet class slash totems, caster, melee, has a little variety of stuff, poisons, direct damage, all kinds of stuff. So definitely a wide variety to stink your teeth into. So to start off, as usual, we're gonna go over the strengths and stuff like that. So now the Primalist is going to be kind of strength, attunement, spells, so some intel depending on which way you want to go. So there is a little bit of a variety of stat bonuses that you can do. So strength will increase your armor by 4%. Then strength-based skills will get increased accordingly. And then same thing with Dex. That one does dodge rating per point, and then improves dodge relate or Dex related skills. Intel for more ward retention, improves and skills for Intel. Attunement will be your mana pool and improve skills. Vitality is going to be your HP slash regen. So depending on which build you're going to be going, if you're going to be going like melee, you'll be one to go strength or dex, and then strength. And then if you're going to be doing caster, intel, and then like I said, some of the stuff is kind of based towards attunement. So like the totems will be attunement, and stuff like that. So a lot of this stuff, like some of the pets, like this one's for attunement, where it increases the mana efficiency there. So that it doesn't cost as much to spawn them. Then you got your resistances, your health, your mana, your health regen, mana regen, movement speed. Then you're going to be your resistance. This character is kind of low. I haven't really got him built because I haven't really figured out 100% which way I want to go. I was doing like a crit based pull arm with minions. But still working on this one. I haven't played this one in a bit, so. Then we come into the block chances for your block, your effectiveness, so how good your blocks are going to actually work, your armor for how much reduces damage of hits, except for damage over time. Stun avoidance, ward retention, so the higher the better, the more ward can be retained or idle on there. Your dodge chance and that in. So then we got down here, move myself real quick so y'all can kind of see all this. This will be all your damaging stats, so like your melee attack speed, cast speed, bow throwing, your crits, chances there, your multiplier, stun chance, damage over time increase, spell, melee damage, bow damage, throw attack damage, and then your damage type modifiers there, or damage type there. Then we get into your defensive stats, where you got your glancing blow, your leeches, your damage dealt to attackers, reflect, damage dealt to mana before health reward, your crit avoidances, and then your on hit modifiers there for health when you hit, or on hit, like when you're hit. And then melee hit when you hit people, on kill, and then on block. And then you got your minion stats. So if you're a minion build, this is where you'll go to see what all the modifiers your minions are going to have, how many minions you can have, their revival speed, which this is where with um, this class it should show that, but it doesn't really. I don't have any bonuses to where they would revive faster, so it's just at the base 0. Then we go over into the other stats, and that's where you're going to get your chance stuff, like your bleeds, your poisons, ignite. So you'll see your bleed chance, and then how much the damage is going to take per tick. Then your potion slots, how much you'll be healed per potion use. Increased chance to find potions, mana efficiencies, and then your chance to chill, slow, and shock, heal effectiveness, and then your cooldown recovery. So then we're going to go into the tree. So base off, you're going to start out with the Primalist. You'll get these as you level up, and then, or as you progress up the Primalist tier. And then once you get about 25, you'll be able to pick your class. You could pick either Beastmaster, Shaman, or Druid. Now, Beastmaster, if you choose Beastmaster, let me see here. I understand. This is where you're gonna get, I think it is the Scorpion. No, Scorpion's there. So that would be the wolf that you get for picking that class. So here you get a summons to start out in Primalist. You get the Sabertooth. And then once you get to if you go Beastmaster, you can summon a bear and a scorpion. If you pick the class, you get to choose the wolf as well. This will be more of the tank. This will be a dot poison. You get a totem to help give you frenzy to all nearby allies, so you and your minions, for giving you increased attack and cast speed. Then you get another melee strike there. Well, this is not your melee. This will be basically making your minion, the nearest minion, run over there and attack it and do damage and also taunts. Now, picking the class, you're going to get +1 to maximum companion. Then you and your minions deal 50% increased melee damage. So this class is generally for the pet class. If you're going to want to have minions and stuff like that, and then you're going to be melee, so generally, so this will be the big benefits there for that. Now, Shaman, this is where if you pick the class, you'll get the Storm Totem. Then the passive bonus is -5 total mana cost, +10 to attunement straight out the box, and then 50% elemental resist while you control a totem. So it'll, as soon as you cast totem, you'll be at 50% elemental resist automatically for you. So those builds generally can kind of work around that elemental resist being there, to where you're pretty much always going to have one up in somewhere. And then, of course, you'll get these skills as you level up. You got Tornado, Earthquake, and then Avalanche. And then, last but not least, you got the Druid, which is the Shapeshifter. So Shaman is going to be more of like the caster / totems. This one's going to be the minions / melee. And then Druid will be your Shapeshifter. So this is where you're going to get your werebear form. And then you can get, when leaving transformed state, you gain 70% damage reduction for 2 seconds, 20% increased health and mana, and then you get that form. And then you'll get these 3 here. You'll get Entangling Roots, Summon Spriggan, and then Spriggan form here, to where you can actually transform into a Spriggan instead of the werebear. All right, so now we are going to go into the skills. So these are the ones you kind of start off with as a primalist. You'll get the wolf to start out with. You get ice thorns. Okay, this one is a flanking strike. No. Uh, oh, it's. Hold on one second. The wolf goes for. Okay, so raptor. Okay, yeah. Sorry about that earlier. It's actually the raptor if you choose the primalist. You get the raptor instead of the wolf. You get the wolf when you start out as you level up just through the base stuff. I haven't played too much of the primalist myself, so I don't know all of it. Like as far as the stats and stuff, I just know the basics of this and how to play the werebear, or not the werebear, but the beastmaster. So summon wolf will be your first one, which where you'll get the summon the primal wolf that follows you in combat. When its health drops to 0, it is down, and you can stand near it to revive it. So essentially, it allows you to, like when you first start out, you can only have 2 companions. So like if it does get killed, it has a timer before it'll be respawned, which you can stand by it to help revive it. Uh, Fury Leap, that is a leap to the target location, dealing damage to nearby enemies. When you hit the ground, doubles any added damage. Swipe will be a frontal swipe. That will melee attack that hits all enemies in the area in front of you, unaffected by weapon range. So you can't like add in weapon range to make it go any further. Healing Wind is essentially a area heal that heals you and your allies. Summon Sabretooth is essentially another melee uh, minion. It's a Sabretooth that runs around and helps you attack just like the wolf. Um, Counts as a companion. Um, so you can either have like 2 wolves or 2 Sabretooth or 1 wolf, 1 Sabretooth, or if you have some of the other ones, you can kind of mix and choose. Now, there are a few ways of increasing your amount of minions, so you can kind of mix them around and find what's best for you type deal. Uh, then we got the Serpent Strike, which is a melee attack with 140% poison chance, but it does require a pull-on to use. Poison inflicted by Serpent Strike lasts 40% longer. Then we have Ice Thorns, which releases a burst of homing ice thorns that deal physical and cold damage on hit and leaves a freeze rate. Has a free rate of 18. You got your summon thorn totem, which is summons a totem that fires thorns at nearby enemies. You can have maximum of 2 thorn totems up at one time. So it just spikes out stuff and does damage AoE there. You got Tempest Strike, which is a melee attack that if it hits an enemy can trigger 3 different spells. Earth Spikes, Northern Winds, and Lightning Bolt at a 20% each. Modifiers to attack speed instead apply to crit chance for both the melee attack and the spell. So you have a higher chance of it critting, but you have a chance of 3 different types of a hit being done. Tira's Blessing is nearby allies targeted is healed for 100 health. If the target is one of your minions, then the healing is tripled and the minion is energized for 4 seconds, increasing its size by 20% and its damage by 100%. So it's something to kind of that you can use to heal, but also buff your pets. Maelstrom surrounds you with a freezing maelstrom that deals cold damage over time to nearby enemies. So it's just there and pulses around or swirls around you and deals damage over time. Um, so you can actually uh, they last for 8 seconds, but you can cast as many as you want. So you can sit there and just keep stacking them as much as possible, increasing the amount of damage you're gonna do. So as far as the Beastmaster, we got the Raptor, which the Raptor is a ferocious. Um, it ferociously attacks your enemy. Essentially, it takes up one of your slots for your companion. Does quite a bit of damage. It's pretty quick, swift. Then you got your Summoned Bear, which is pretty much going to be more of the tank, so it's going to have a little bit more HP than the others. Uh, Takes up a companion slot, all that stuff. Same thing, the normal down stuff. Then you have your Summoned Scorpion that follows you in combat, attacks with its tails, flicking a long lasting poison. So it's just there and it throws out a dart of poison to the enemies, which does um, damage over time. And then we got the Summoning Frizzy totem, which essentially, once you spawn that down, anybody within the area of effect of it will get increased attack speed and cast speed, so you and your minions, and down the road, once multiplayer hits, allies as well. Flanking Strike is where you make one of your minions go in and attack the mob that you're targeting, where they do a good high attack damage and also taunts it as well. And into Shaman, we got the Tornado, which is your generic tornado. Conjures a tornado that moves at random, pulling in enemies and dealing physical damage to them. So it'll pull them in, but you have no idea where it's going to go, where it's going to head. So it's just kind of a random thing there. Does the mana cost isn't too bad, so you could essentially cast a few of them up there. Then we got Earthquake, which is essentially slams the ground with your weapon, uh, dealing damaging enemies in a large area and creating 2 to 4 aftershocks nearby. You got your Avalanche, which channels a channel to summon the might of winter and pummel your foes in ice and snow. You do not have any mana now. Just like all the other channeling skills, you generally don't have any mana regeneration while you are casting. Um, Initial mana cost cannot be reduced below 1. And then we got the Storm Totem. Um, Summons a totem that casts lightning storms around nearby enemies. Storms can last 8 seconds and cannot be controlled more than one at once. So you can only have one of these up at one time, unless you have modifiers that possibly could alter that. Then we got for the Druid, we have Entangling Roots, which is essentially like a slow roots the enemies to where it snares them. Um, but it also does damage over time as well because of the thorns and the roots. Then we got Summon Spriggans, which they're essentially casters. Little Spriggans that you could spawn that will come follow you, and they do spell damage. Um, so they attack the enemies and has an aura that restores 10 health every second. When its health drops below 0, it is down, and then you can revive it. So it actually has its own little kind of self heal for them, which helps since they're casters. They can be killed semi easily, depending on how you have them set up. You had the Spriggan form where instead of you turning into a werebear, you could turn into a Spriggan. So that's essentially if you're going to be doing a caster build, you might want to look into the Spriggan form because it has the bonuses for Spriggan. Transformed into a Force Spriggan, increasing your spell casting capabilities and gaining 4 new abilities. So essentially, like if you have minions or whatever the case may be, once you go into the Spriggan form, it's going to have different abilities. So you're not going to have your old abilities, you're going to have 4 different ones. There we go. And then you got your werebear. Oh, also, like whenever you leave this one kind of your mana does not regenerate while in spriggan form. When your mana reaches 0, you automatically transform back into a human, which you regain 50 mana. So where this one is for the health, because it's more on the melee side there. So this one, your mana does not regenerate while in the form. When your mana reaches 0, okay, well never mind. Sorry, I could have sworn it was health. So both of them are on the mana side. So this one, depending on your setup and your spec and everything like that, you might not be able to stay into this form as long. Like I said, it depends on your setup. So there is ways to kind of modify that to get it to last as long as possible. And the wearable form is more of for the melee side, so it transform into a ferocious werebear, increasing your physical capabilities and gain 4 new abilities. So you, again, with that one, you gain new abilities there, but it's more on the tanking side or fighting side melee. So this one, like I said, some of the skills do require you to have polearm, or you can do sword and board, dual wields, all that fun stuff. And then you'll have specific gear to the Primalist, so like something like this and this would generally, like this one, would be. I mean, you could technically put it on any class if you want, but it's not really worth it for any other one because it gives you the wolves uh, increase there, which none of the other classes can do that. So, but other than that, that's pretty much it. That is the rundown of the Primalist. I hope y'all did enjoy the video. If you did, please smash that like button. If you want to keep up to date with my reviews, my guides, my live streams, all that fun stuff, make sure you smash that subscribe button. I definitely appreciate it. Definitely helps out the channel. Also, I do have a Discord link down below. If you want to join that, you can you can join us and chit chat with us about all things Last Epoch or any game in general. I cover pretty much everything. So love to have you. And then once multiplayer comes out, I'll be more than happy to join y'all or help y'all farm gear or get set up and all that fun stuff. So if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below. Or, like I said, you can join the Discord and ask me there as well. Other than that, my name is Devin from Deadly Art Gaming, and you all have a great one. See y'all next time.